Like having your food delivered to your school? Well, at least in Michigan, that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur, and one of the big advantages places like GrubHub, Postmates, DoorDash, and Caviar have is that you can order food and have it delivered pretty much anywhere. In fact, now, and I've seen this happen firsthand, I know people who are working 9-to-5 jobs who want McDonald's, Burger King, or whatever, and they just want it delivered. They don't want to spend their time going out and getting it, so they buy the food and they have it delivered to them. And heck, college students are doing this too. You know who else is doing it? High school students. And according to Detroit Free Press, at least a few schools in Michigan are saying, well, that's not cool. So according to this article, instead of packing lunches, many high school students now pack their cell phones in ordering food delivered to their school with apps like GrubHub, DoorDash, and Uber Eats. The deliveries have become so frequent and disruptive that many schools have banned them. Quote, "It was getting to the point where you have like 8, 10, 15 deliveries a day," said Pat Watson, principal at West Bloomfield High School, which recently reminds students to knock it off. It's a building policy. You can't have food delivered during the school day. Other schools have done the same thing. Quote, "We view it as a safety concern," said Diane Blaine, spokeswoman for Chippewa Valley Schools in Macomb County. "Having strangers and people that we don't know coming to our buildings with delivery bags, we just don't allow it." Blaine said the district's Dakota High School banned the practice about 3 years ago, and its other high school, Chippewa Valley, followed suit. Some schools have policies explicitly prohibiting it. Others frown on it but don't formally ban it. All of them say the practice has exploded with cell phone use and the proliferation of delivery services. Grade school deliveries. "High school students aren't the only ones who order deliveries to school," said Jeff Hueter, I believe that's how you pronounce it, assistant manager of the Jets Pizza on Orchid Lake Road, about a mile north of West Bloomfield High. "Some students in elementary school will have pizza delivered for lunch," he said. "The parents will call and say, 'My kid's lunch is at noon. Can you deliver a pizza to the office and maybe throw in a bottle of water?' Parents typically pay with a credit card or through the Jets app on their phone. The delivery driver will bring plates and napkins if requested. Jet charges $3.50 for delivery compared to $4 for GrubHub. He said his pizza place is across the street from Abbott Middle School and Orchid Lake Street, Mary's Prep School." Yep, and I guess this is him, Jeff Hueter, assistant general manager of the Jets Pizza. It almost looks like a Papa John's there. It really does. I mean, granted, it's a pizza place. I guess I don't know how many ways you can make a pizza place look, but oh well. So, the Plymouth Canton School District, which operates 3 high schools in one location, doesn't have a formal policy about food deliveries, but the building procedures don't allow it, said spokesman Nick Brandon. "The main reason for the ban is school safety," he said, "but there are other reasons as well. Quote, the second that food enters the school office, it becomes the school office's responsibility. It's also a workload issue for office personnel. If they're having to manage multiple food orders at a given lunchtime with all the other things they have to be responsible for, that's a concern as well. AKA, that translates to, they did not get into this business to handle your food ordering. So don't expect them to. Waiting for lunch. The district works hard to provide healthy, good-tasting food in its cafeterias, and students are always free to brown bag it, Branton said. Yeah, and you know, I'm going to comment on that briefly, kind of a little side tour. I recently rewatched Super Size Me. Katie had never seen it before, and you know, I've been taking what I eat a lot more seriously, and I've lost a lot of weight, and I'm exercising more, and now that movie kind of shook her a little bit, so she doesn't want to do fast food as much. But here's the thing. It gets to that point where they're looking at the school lunches, and there's so many unhealthy foods to the point where I actually kind of walked away believing, you know what? They should not have unhealthy foods like that in this cafeteria. They should have the kids should be guaranteed to have one healthy meal a day. And I think a lot of schools have been aiming more and more for that, to be more health conscious for the students. And yet when you have Postmates and GrubHub and Uber Eats, it creates like a little bit of a cut around, if you will, for kids to get bad, unhealthy food. And I think that's wrong. Now, waiting for lunch. Watson said at West Bloomfield, tardy deliveries made for tardy students. It's supposed to be here at 12 and my lunch is done at 12:30, Watson said. Now it shows up at 12:35, so now I haven't gone to class, but now I've got my Panera and I go to class to eat in there. Watson said teachers object to kids eating in class, but the students would complain it wasn't their fault. The delivery was late. Watson also has heard plenty of excuses for why an order was placed. Kids say, "Oh, my mom forgot to put money on my lunch account," Watson said. One student claimed a cousin ordered it for him, not knowing it wasn't allowed. But that claim seems doubtful when the delivery driver knew the student's name. Actually, no, that's not entirely true. As someone who's done this for a long time, people call Ubers for other people all the time and use that person's name. So, I mean, granted, in this case, maybe it is the food, but that's not 100% out of the equation. When I was in high school, we knew to pack 2 lunches, one for lunch and one for after school. I guess the new normal is you whip out your cell phone and order some food. Yeah, my question is, what about the credit cards? Like, what are kids doing with credit cards that they can buy this food and at an inflated price? I mean, yeah, granted, if you do the Postmates party, although this is mainly GrubHub they're talking about, you can more or less get around the delivery fee, but I mean, seriously, like, why do the kids have the credit card money? So anyway, that's pretty much all there is to it. This is just an interesting little story. This is not the first time I've reported a story like this, and it probably won't be the last. I am assuming at some point, now that Congress is starting to legislate, these gig economy apps more and more, at some point it will be brought up that Postmates might be contributing to, the world's obesity, and that's a disruption for teachers and students. Who knows? A lot of schools are definitely getting on top of this, I believe. Unless you're the teacher or the facility member, you should not be getting Postmates, GrubHub, or Uber Eats at school. Pack a lunch, eat healthy, eat one of their healthy meals. When you're developing in your formative years, this is one thing I'm happy about my parents. They did feed me overall healthy food while I was growing up. It was only after I got on my own that I started eating truly, truly poorly, and now I'm working to lose the weight, and I'm doing okay. Could still lose 15 pounds, but still working there. But anyway, now I leave the question to you. What do you think of this policy? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? And where do you think the kids are getting these credit cards? I would love to know. So comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, of course, but even as little as $1 a month goes a long way in helping the channel run smoothly and get access to my Patreon's exclusive blog. Also, if you want a discount on gas, check out the Get Upside app. You will get discounts on gas, and the gas going up, it's pretty nice. Also, check out Apptrepreneur vlogs, new content coming every week. And finally, if you want to talk to me or other riders or food delivery people, check out the Apptrepreneur Hangouts on Facebook. You have to be approved to join, but we approve a lot of people. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.